You know, when my participation is being watched and I can see other people participate with me. That is very powerful, very persuasive. Social comparisons, how do I compare to others? Game elements take advantage of this. Normative influence, the peer pressure. And social learning, when I can see others, I can learn from that. And social learning is a very, very powerful driver in terms of consumer-driven innovation and individual innovation. So when I looked at the Arab Spring, there's a lot of pros and cons of, was it a Facebook revolution or a Twitter revolution? We looked at it from a persuasive standpoint and saying that Facebook was actually a very fascinating organizing tool that took all the friction and cost out of test marketing a revolution. So first, in terms of the Egyptian activists, they'd been using technology for a number of years, for over 10 years. And talking to some of the women Egyptian activists, they got on Facebook in 2009 and they got involved in politics because they responded to a Facebook ad. Now, if someone on the street had asked them to get involved in politics, they would have said no. Because who wants to get involved in politics? It's dirty, unpleasant, ugh, nobody wants to do that. But since it was on Facebook, they go like, oh, well, let me check it out. It's people like me. And then through the ambient presence of Facebook and their profiles, you could see who these people are. And then you could get involved with them over time, build trust, and build a movement. So on these sites, how many of you are on Facebook? How many of you regularly use Facebook? How many of you only get on like once in a while? Casual, How many of you are on every day? Yes, my people. Okay. This is very persuasive. In Syria, and also they did this in Tunisia, and especially in Egypt, they tested protests. So the revolution isn't going to be televised, but it will be a Facebook event, and you'll decide, I'm attending, yes, no, maybe, right? So what they would do is they would say, we're going to organize a protest on this day in this location. If they got so many RSVPs of people saying they were attending, and mind you, Facebook RSVPs for don't do your catering plans around it, okay? Because the number's kind of dodgy, but it gave them an order of magnitude. It said, if we saw an order of magnitude interest in this, then we're going to go out into the streets. If it fell below a certain number, we're not going to do it. So it was a way to test the idea. Is there an appetite for this, right? With no cost. When you look at Occupy Wall Street, it's basically taking the playbook out of the Arab Spring and saying, okay, here we go, I'm attending, yes, no, maybe. It says, as of this morning, that 18,623 people on Facebook committed to attending, and you could see who they are. So I could go through that, and of course Facebook is smart enough to tell me to surface the people that I know and say, oh, well, here are 10 people that I know that are going to go to